Growing up, I'm sure FIFA was a big part of your childhood. Coming home from school to hop on FIFA 15, playing Ultimate Team, having your friends around playing with the best teams, or sometimes even playing with the worst teams to see who was better. All the rage moments that occurred when you're losing is what made FIFA such a good game. Even if you didn't know how to play, you could pick up a controller and within about 20 minutes you knew what you should be doing and how to do it. But when you look at FIFA today, it seems to have lost everything that it had going for it. But was it due to EA making bad decisions? Was it due to our taste buds changing in gaming, where we didn't want to play the game anymore? Or was it due to no longer being a fun game? Well, that's what I'm looking at in today's video. Why has FIFA had its downfall from grace, and is there any way for it to climb back to its throne, or will it just stay how it is? I think I should start off this video by saying I'm not the biggest FIFA fan out there, and by no means am I one of the most knowledgeable people on this topic. So don't come out my throat if I get something wrong. This is all my opinion. I could start this off by talking about how the greed of EA has overtaken it, but I'm sure you've heard that time and time again, so I won't. But I'll say this, the old FIFAs, the packs were a lot more cheap than they are now. Nowadays you have packs which are like half a million. Back in the day, the biggest pack you get is like 100k, if that, and that was very rare. So that's enough of that. So I suppose I'll start with how there is a literal power creep in FIFA. Yes, that's right, there's a fucking power creep in a football game. Confused? Then let me explain. You'll need some context, but I'll be quick with it. The last FIFA I played was FIFA 17 as well as FIFA 15. They were the two that I remember the most. I remember back then getting an icon or an inform of any kind, any special card whatsoever was insane. Like if you got any of those in your packs, it would be worth it because most of the time that was the pack paid for, if not making profit. There are hundreds of thousands of reactions that I'm sure you've seen of people screaming when they pulled a special card. It was also extremely rare to get a special card, so because it was so rare, it made it more special. But when I came back to FIFA last year, in my very first pack, I pulled two special cards, one of them being an icon. I was over the moon, yet I found out that that icon was considered fodder. You can imagine my shock. That was the very first icon I ever pulled in any FIFA game. I was over the moon just to find out that this icon that I was screaming over, that other people would scream over in the past, is now just a shoulder shrug at best and just thrown into an SBC. Which leads me to how pulling good cards is very meaningless nowadays, unless it's the very best cards in the game. Which is quite sad when you think about it, though I think there are multiple things that are bad about this. The first is how the SBCs have pretty much taken over how people look at the cards that they're pulling. Pulling a good card has gone from how much can I get from this, oh my god this is such a good pack, to cool, I can put this person into my 85 by 10 SBC to try and pull some different cards. And if that doesn't say something, I don't know what will. I do think the SBCs have changed over time as well, because now you can have an 85 times 10 when you pretty much guaranteed at least two special cards, pretty much at the bare minimum. And when they don't cost the same as they did back in the day, on top of them not being as rare, it makes it for an endless cycle where you're just chasing that one card instead of enjoying the moment that you have when you do pack a special card. That's not to say that the SBCs have gotten worse though, I just feel like they've gotten the game to a different point in time where you're no longer chasing all those special cards, you're just hoping that you can get a special card good enough to put into this SBC so you can get another pack or maybe get another special card. It creates this endless cycle that you're not going to enjoy when you're in it, which is why I think FIFA has gone a lot worse over time, because you're not having as much fun. You're not having these matches with your friends. You're not having these rage moments. You're not having these insanely cool moments where you're packing really rare cards. You're just doing these SBCs, getting 10 players and then doing another SBC. That's all the game has become. I also feel like the game's not bad. It's definitely gotten a lot better. Don't get me wrong. But when you're not having these moments where you can actually enjoy the game, you're not going to enjoy it, which is why I think a lot of people have been on the side of it's getting worse over time. And with less and less additions with each new FIFA, you can only really get the impression that EA are just in it for the money, with them raising the prices of the packs, lowering the prices of the cards. However, I don't think FIFA is gonna die in the slightest, because let's be honest, it's the biggest football game of all time. Nothing comes close. You can make an argument for PES, you know, maybe come in a fifth of the length that FIFA went, but you know, FIFA is like the Call of Duty of the genre. They're never going to die, but I feel like they can definitely raise their game. I feel like they can add new additions like the FIFA 17 career mode, one of the best game modes of all time. Add a manager mode, for God's sake, man. Add a referee mode. You know, you can do so many things with a football game, and I feel like they just aren't delivering. If they do decide to deliver, I can definitely see FIFA getting back on their top and having people love the game again. If you guys have any opinions of your own though, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say, whether you agree, disagree with anything I've said. Let me know. Consider subscribing as well.